Right. No, leave that, Ted. No, leave it. No, Ted, give me the script back. Oh dear. Oh, never work with children and animals. Ted, get out of the trees. Now, of course, in true YouTube Hello! Now, I wasn't going to do a video this week. It's quite normal this time of the year to go down to once every 2 weeks, but a lot of people after the video introducing this little menace, Ted, asked if you could be kept up to date with how we're doing. So this is a quick vlog, a very quick update. For those of you berating the lack of caravan videos, don't worry, next week there will be a caravan related video. But for those of you interested in Ted, I thought I'd do a quick video about life with a puppy because it's not as lovely and easy and charming as people who haven't had a puppy might think. It's not all Instagram cuteness. There's a lot of challenges and a lot of sleep deprivation. So generally, overall, Ted is coming up for 12 weeks old. We've had him for 2 weeks now. We're doing quite well. In fact, we're doing very well. Now, the toilet training, which is pretty important really, is going okay. We're getting most pees and poos outside now, but we're still having the occasional accident inside if I take my eye off him for a moment. Now, the great news is that he was left with his mother till he was 9 weeks old, so he already learned from his mother not to soil the nest. So if he's in his crate, he will do anything but soil the crate. So that's great. And now we want to extend his nest to include the home as well. And he's doing really well. He's doing really well on the toilet training, but that means that, especially for the first week or so, you are outside with the dog every waking hour. On the hour, aren't we? After eating, after play, after waking up for a nap, and of course twice during the night as well, and that's of course in all weathers. And we live in the Outer Hebrides, and yes, the weather has been shocking at times, and I've had to go out in it at 4:30 in the morning in the pitch black and the driving rain. The reality of getting up from in the middle of the night, twice a night, in the pouring rain to take the puppy out is not very glamorous, but it has to be done, and we are getting there. So that's one real challenge of puppy life that some people might not think about, but we're getting there. The other real challenge we had was last Friday. We had a real meltdown. I made 3 crucial errors, and I'm responsible for this little puppy, so anything that goes wrong is completely my fault. So made 3 fatal errors. First of all, to backtrack, when I got Dougal, he was 5 months old and he was very polite already. Dougal used to sleep in a crate by the bed for the first 18 months. And in the morning, when I had my cup of tea, he would get on the bed with me. So I thought I'd extend that to Ted. He slept fine in the crate by the bed. And then on that morning and the morning before, I let him get in the bed with me and Dougal while we had a cup of tea. That was mistake number 1. Mistake number 2 was his crate that he was using in the bedroom was far too big. It wasn't cozy, it wasn't mollycoddling him. And then mistake number 3 was I overstimulated him on this day. On the Friday, we went to the vets in the morning where he had his jabs. Unfortunately, they wanted to start the vaccinations all over again because it only had Lepto 2, not Lepto 4. So we've still got another 3 weeks before he can go out on the ground. And so we've been to the vets in the morning, and then in the afternoon I took him for a walk in my coat and on the sand here where it's washed by the tide, so there's been no other dogs there. And yeah, he got overstimulated. We went to bed at 10:30 and he screamed the house down. And he screamed the house down for 3 hours. The only way I could stop him from crying and screaming and barking very angrily was to put him on the bed with me and Dougal. Now, Dougal is the priority and Dougal has the privilege. Dougal is the older dog. I'm the leader. He's the top dog. He's the puppy and he's got to know his place. And I think a dog is more happy when he looks to you for guidance and leadership. And obviously he's got to look to Dougal as well. And if he's being treated as an equal to me and Dougal, that's not going to work, is it, little puppy? So I would try to get him to sleep on my lap and then put him in his crate. But I tried that twice. He screamed the house down. He screamed the house down for 3 hours. And at 1:37 in the morning, I was so sleep deprived. I was so at the end of my tether that the only thing I could do was to put his crate in the kitchen and shut the door and let him cry it out. Now, a lot of dog psychologists will tell you that that's damaging to the dog to let him cry it out. Well, I was reading a lot of books and I was watching a lot of YouTube videos, and the advice they were giving there was, oh, put the crate in your bedroom so he can see you and then he'll quieten down. Or tap gently on the crate to break the cycle, praise him for being quiet, and then he'll quieten down. Yeah, it didn't work. I'm convinced that a lot of dog training books are written by liars, and a lot of dog training videos are purely there for people to make money out of their merch or their courses. The only exception I found to that for dog training was I did find a channel, thank you Shana, called Kiko Pup, lovely woman in San Diego. She's got a great puppy video that's 3 hours long, split into chapters with everything you need to do. I'll link to it in the description below. That's been really useful. But yeah, we had a real meltdown that night, and fortunately it's never been repeated. And he doesn't seem to be too psychologically scarred after his night of crying it out. That was the only time that's ever happened. I just couldn't, it was awful. It was really, really awful. But let's talk about the successes now. I've been training this little pup as well. And obviously I also have to retrain Dougal because Dougal has been the recipient of a single command. So if I say sit, he knows I want him to sit. If I want him to come, I just say come. But of course now I have 2 dogs. So now I've got to teach them their names. So twice a day, breakfast and lunch, when I'm giving them their lunch and their breakfast, it's a name recognition exercise, and we've been doing this for a week. Dougal, good boy. Dougal, good boy. Ted, Ted, good boy, Ted. So the dog has to meet me in the eyes before he will get his food. So we're doing well on name recognition, and then with the training, we're doing pretty well, as you can see. Right, Ted, sit. Good boy. Good boy. Ted, drop. Good boy, Ted. Good boy. Ted, wait. Dougal, come. Ted, come. Good boy. Good boy. Ted, drop. Drop. Good boy. Oh, bring it back. Ted, wait. Dougal, come. Good boy, Dougal. Good boy, Dougal. Ted, come. Ted, come. Good boy, Ted. Good boy, Dougal. All right, I get my treats out. I can't hold the phone and get the treats out at the same time. Now, of course, in true YouTube tradition, I've edited this so it looks like they're really good. The reality is, I would say Ted's about 50% there. He's good if there are no other distractions, but if there are distractions, obviously he's more interested in what else is going on. But the little pup is only 12 weeks old, and we've got a really good groundwork, I think. I think a lot of people have said to me over the years, Dougal's so good, he's so polite, aren't you lucky? Well, yeah, I am lucky, he's a wonderful dog, but there's also hours and hours and hours of training has gone into that, which is now going into little Ted. So hopefully he will be equally as good. Although hopefully you will smile, Ted, although he's got hiccups right now. So yeah, Dougal is also getting used to Ted. He sneaked into his crate the other day, so that was very sweet. And in the mornings he greets Ted, wags his tail and everything. But Dougal's not ready to play with Ted yet. Ted invites play, but Dougal's not ready yet. A lot of people have said that when Ted is quite a bit older, sort of 6 to 12 months, then Dougal will probably engage in play. But at the moment, it's probably a little bit like a 5-year-old wanting to play with a 50-year-old, and it's too much of a chasm. But when the 5-year-old gets to 15 and they can both go outside and kick a ball together, hey, then you've got a bit more of a common ground. So yeah, there's still early days for Dougal, but he's doing all right. He's doing all right, bless him. So that's just a quick update about Ted, who's now got hiccups. So before I finish, I also just want to say a massive, huge, enormous thank you to everyone for your support, especially over the past couple of weeks with Ted, and also with the ups and downs over the ferry video. The good news is that was demonetized by YouTube. It's now been remonetized, thank goodness. The views are doing now starting to do pretty well. I think it's being shared a lot on social media, which is great. P&O and DFDS have been in touch to invite us back. So thanks to P&O, we'll probably be able to go to Caravan Salon Düsseldorf, because they've offered to pick up the tab on the ferry. And DFDS have invited us. We might be able to do a New Haven Dieppe or something. So now we're just waiting for Brittany Ferries to invite us, and that would be great. But no word from Irish Ferries, but that's okay. So yeah, that's gone pretty well. And then yeah, to the nasty people, there's only 2 of them I think who accused me of shortening Dougal's life and being a terrible parent because of introducing a pup. Yeah, I think you can see that they're doing pretty well. So thank you all everyone for your support especially over the past couple of weeks. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it, you know what to do. Please give us a thumbs up, subscribe if you don't already. It just leaves me to say, from Dougal, from Ted, and from me, thanks for tuning in. There. Are you excited about Dougal? Hello. We're finished. Could you just say hello to your public? Say hello. Hello. Not impressed, are you? What about you, Ted? They never smile. Night then. I'm sorry, Ted. I need to switch the camera off. I'm sorry, Ted. No, Ted. Ted, darling, sweetie. Would you mind awfully if I? Can I just? Would you? Can I? Would you? Can I? Oh dear. Oh dear. There's my script. No one knew I had a script. Right. No, Ted. Could you just? Thank you. Could you just? No, awfully. Could I? Yeah. Dougal, look after him. That went well.